Hey, did I make it? Oh, I'm 2 minutes late. All right, I think I'm live. Here we go. I'm just checking my stuff. As I do, let's see. All right. Gotta make an announcement like usual. So stay put here. Just checking on the audio here. Sorry, everyone. I'm just kind of rushing right now because I had to like slam food down my pipe and hope that I digest fast enough that I don't get indigestion. Okay, microphone is good. A-okay. All right, I think the volume is all cool here. We're in the clear. Um, guess what we're gonna do? Guess what we're gonna do? Yet another project. I know I'm addicted, but I was thinking to myself like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on the explanation a little bit. Let me make an announcement first. Stream viewer live now. Twitch link right here. And then YouTube link right here. Seems like at least the internet is okay right now. So we're cool here. But essentially, I was thinking to myself, well, not myself, but I guess just in general, I've seen people talk about like the people who's already launched a game, and I kind of need a proof of my, I guess, skill slash journey. I've been researching slash developing tools for 2 years now. So even though I have an Uber project that I'm planning on launching at the end of this year, I still want to release more small games. And all the lessons that I've learned from Game Jam is that I really think that the most fun part of the mechanic, like the fun of your game, needs to be expressed within like 5 minutes of the game starting. So I want to like focus on that. Focus on like making the game so that it starts being fun almost immediately. Hey Devi, and hey Void. Void got the first already. Void is first. Devi never planted a berry folk, it seems. You don't have a berry folk. That's surprising to me. Anyways, but what I was saying is that I want to start a new project to make kind of like a jam slash like small game that I'm committing to releasing. I don't want it to take more than a week or two to make. That is like, this is the fun part of the game immediately happens as soon as the game starts, essentially within 5 minutes, hopefully. So that's what I'm hoping for. And part of that is probably just deciding on the game mechanic, deciding on the visual image and all that stuff. So I think I'm going to try to do that. Ooh, Void gifted Squatberry to Devi. Wait, does that work? No. You have to change to the berry that you want to donate or you want to gift, and then do gift at. Yeah. The berries are gross. So if you look at the power-ups and rewards under the Twitch redemption, there's a thing called plant berry folk seed, and then you can water them to get a little berry folk on the screen. So you are represented physically. Wait, why are the commands not working? Oh, it's changeberry, I think. Changeberry. Hold on. Berries. It's like changeberry, Godot berry. Yeah. So if you redeem them, you get a little berry and your chats pop up on the stream. And it's a little collectible. You have different types of berries out here. You have different types of berries that you can potentially get. And you can see how rare they are. There you go. And then you can gift them to other people. Quick game number 1. Yep. I'm going to make 10 small quick games that is hoping to be viral. I've learned my lessons. I'm gonna collect all my lessons and put it together to make it do what I want it to do. And then I can be like, you know what? I've done this. I figured it out. I went from 0 game release to 10 games release, and it's all successful. Isn't that the great one? Debbie says, change Wiseberry. Did I do it right? You don't have them. You have to collect them first. Debbie, you have a Squatberry right now. That Void gifted to you with the gift command. So if you want to try your chance at other berries, you can redeem the points. There's like I guess I don't know if it's available on mobile. There's a point redemption where you can plant the berry and you gotta water it 9 times, and it becomes something. Void says turtleneck, Ezra. Yeah. So I released a little sample, like a super shortened version of the one of the beginning lessons to do a little preview to be like, hey, just in case you're unsure, this is what is going on in the lesson. And there's a 50% off code for only shared with our close community. Unfortunately, Debbie has already spent a full price for that. So that means that we're going to give you probably a, higher ticket item, which is like in your future game sessions and Q&As, we can have one-on-ones. You know what I mean? We can have our one-on-ones. You get a free one-on-one mentorship and such. But you know the real value. The real value is that at this point, as one of the first people to have supported me in a serious way. Oh no! Don't look at my accounts. Who? Did you? Do not. Whatever you did, do not pause on all the information I have. Ooh, okay. All right. That was a bad idea. Voice says, dang it, almost. Debbie says, we'll mentor each other. Yes. All right. So, goal here. Maybe I should do a little reminder goal. Maybe I could do a little label here. Our goal today is to make a satisfying game that becomes fun within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes. I kind of like this color scheme, by the way. I was like, wow, this kind of looks like a retro color. So I'm over here in low spec, looking for a palette. It's a good resource here. This is pretty vibe. And really, it depends on the palette. It's going to really change the vibe of the game, I'm sure. Davey says, rewinds, get all the info, Lama. No. I mean, luckily, the only thing you can do is spam a bunch of my different emails. In order for you to water, Devi, you have to plant the seed first. There's a redemption called Plant Berry Folk Seed. You got to do that. If you do that, you get a little plant on the map. Little plant. And then, you get a little sprout that grows. Oh, this is pretty cool palette too. I'm going to like a bunch of them. I'm going to go through and be like, okay, I like this. And then hopefully we'll get a nice collection of cool colors, cool artistic color palettes. And then I'll come over and be like, what does this invoke? So I'm going to do a visual first approach. I'm going to decide on the visual and the vibe. And then I'm going to choose a mechanic, or I'm going to come up with a mechanic that feels fun in a very simple way. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of how I'm going to approach this. We'll see. Devi says, I guess that means it says I have 4.2k of these little circle things. Yeah, it goes up every time you watch. So it's like for engaging with people who watches, so they have some things to interact with the streamer. Um, but yeah, I mean, potentially that's what that means. It runs out pretty quickly. So, and there are other redemptions. You can make me sing, for example, but that's nobody has redeemed that in a while. The but yeah, let's see. Ooh, this is nice and vibrant. You know, I need to start working with the vibrant palettes too, because I feel like I've gotten a little bit too used to like pastel-y type of color sets. So I'm gonna purposely, but nothing like this. This is a little bit too much to me, I feel. It's too contrasty. I don't think I can ever work with that. This one is very backgroundy. So, ooh, pretty. Um, some of these palettes though, I think you have to like overlay a like a top layer on top of it. You can't just use it only. Potentially. This one seems like a full color spectrum. Debbie says, "Ooh, I see singing as yeah." But the caveat is that I only know Korean music, so I'll only be singing Korean songs. So you won't know what I'm saying. You'll just hear me. Horror games, I hate. I don't understand the draw to the horror games. I can't play them. All right. Calm sunset. That's pretty cool. Oh, this is like a Famicom or like the Sonic palette. Okay, I'll take that. This is like a monotone, like Game Boy type of feel. Pretty cool. Devi says, "So, what if I told you I was Korean, Lamau?" Well, either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would be surprised because that's not what I was imagining. However, um, yeah, exactly. I said I would be surprised. But it's okay, right? Because either way, it's songs that I sing that doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. Wow, some of these palettes are really solid. I'm gonna try my best to stay in palette when I work on these. Ooh, this fantasy looks amazing. Dawnbringers, 8 palette a color. Sorry, I'm just going through this. I'm in my creative mode right now because we're going to be doing a lot of creative stuff here in a bit. Hayden, welcome, welcome. Hello. As you can see, I'm on low spec, just liking a bunch of color palettes because I'm about to make new games. And I want it to be kind of visual vibe forward, vibe first. Eden says, "Oh, I know a few of the artists on here, haha, on low spec. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like low spec is like kind of default where all the pixel artists go to get palettes, right? So I would be surprised. Devi says, everyone says my voice doesn't match me at all, and I think it's hilarious. I mean, look, our voice. We think we look like something based on our voice, but you know, I think I've seen enough people going from voice only to face that now nothing surprises me. Though I have no idea. Now that I've heard your voice in our little group session, when in fact it was just me and Devi on the course, our weekly thing. Now that I've heard your voice, I do have like an image of what you might look like. I have a mental image. But yeah, I'm just going through and liking a bunch of palettes first that kind of speaks to me, and then I'm gonna do like a list only the liked ones, and then see if any of them like really screams out to me, and then do some what do you call art session, And then from the art session, we're going to come up with game mechanic. And the real focus of the game mechanic is that I want to come up with a mechanic that is the core, that people get to experience the core part of the mechanic and core part of fun within 6 minutes of playing. Within 6 minutes of playing. So that is the goal. So we'll see how this goes. Also it would be cool to be like, do a little session where I make a game around people's art. That could be a fun little challenge. Like, I want to make a game based on people's art. Now, I can't just go to Pinterest and pull any art, because that would be like, kind of like, I feel that feels a little bit, I don't know, scummy maybe. I definitely need to get permissions from people. But if it's like community driven stuff, that'd be cool. Oh, Debbie says, ooh, I should send you a sketch I did. Dude, I should take that. Please. I want to try it. At least it could be one of the videos. Like, I took viewers' art and made a game. Your art, or I make games out of your art. That could be the series. That's a YouTube title, I think. I made a game based on viewers' art, or something like that. This is very Apple oriented. Not really sure what else. I mean, this is like mostly warm. Debbie says, okay, sending now. It's only head, really. It's okay. I'll get around to it. Just Covino says, I teamed up with the Covino from FFS to make the best 3D game ever. Perfect YouTube title. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, we should make a video together at least once, Covino. Why not? Aren't you trying to also like jumpstart your YouTube too? We should do something fun. Nothing like too serious. It doesn't have to be informative. We can focus on like having fun like that. And I think that'll do well. But hit me up if you're serious about that. Joe's Covino says, yes, let me get more subscribers first, though, so it's more a fair type deal. Dude, honestly, okay. Here's the thing about YouTube. Subscribers counts don't matter, because at the end of the day, every video rides this algorithm separately. Subscriber used to matter like a lot before. So like the opportunity is that for me, you have a better opportunity to get a huge viewing, right? Because all it takes is that one good video. Covino says, right now, held back a ton by the GPU, though. It takes me so long even just to make a proxy. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. GPU issue is surprising me. I mean, like, I don't know. This whole, like, I feel like the whole, like, the Gen AI boom and every side effect that comes from it just makes me think more and more it's not worth it. Like, whatever benefit people are thinking that they're getting, I don't feel that it's worth the trouble. And especially with the more recent news coming out being like, oh yeah, no, it's not actually as good. Like, whatever, dude. I guess as long as it creates jobs. I can hate on it all I want. Kelso says, why me, Erza? No free subscribe in your channel? What? What do you mean, Kelso? Also, my name is Ezra. No, I know what you mean. What do you mean no free subscribe in my channel? Truth Seeker says Gen AI needs to implode ASAP. I mean, yes, I think it has to. There's no other way for it to go, just because I keep talking about this. Like, the hype cycle with big companies and, the investment focused companies and products are that they hype it up, overblow it up, and then it comes down, and then there's some usage out of it. And then like it finds its actual like fair pricing. But thing is, because that means they're going to lose out on money, they're going to do everything they can to lie through their teeth to keep it scaffolded up, like hyped up as much as they can while they're benefiting from it. And depending on which part of the cycle you're in, they're going to lie more and more and more until somebody goes, oh, this is it. Somebody big goes, this is it. We're done. Kelso says, because it's New Year, what are you building this time? Okay, so I was saying that I really want to launch a game. I want to launch a game, but I don't want to also spend a lot of time. So I want to get a little jammy, meaning make some like game jam type of game, but a little bit more focused. And one key factor that I have learned through game jams and just like watching other people release successful games is that your game needs to be fun and your game's core mechanic needs to be like presented and be fun within like 6 minutes of launching the game. Which I have a hard time doing because I'm from like complex gameplays, right? Tabletop RPGs, like RPGs and the tactics and stuff like that. So I'm trying to focus on making a game that's fun and that introduces its core mechanic very obviously within first 6 minutes. And before doing that, I want to do still make sure that the vibe is there. So right now, I'm going through low specs palettes, the color palettes, to just kind of collect the color scheme that I like, that kind of yells out to me, oh, you will be able to be a little bit creative with this. So I'm liking them, and later I'm going to go through and pick one or two and then start drawing, be creative, see what kind of art comes out of it. And then based on the art, I'm going to decide on what kind of game it will be. And then so it's like palette or color, vibe and art. And from the vibe and art, I'm going to come up with a mechanic, game mechanic that is fun within 6 minutes of gameplay. And then I'm going to make it. And hope is that I will hard limit myself so that I don't make the game so complex that it takes more than a week to make. Kelso says, yeah, maybe problem solving is a fun game. It is a fun game. Oh, sorry, I'm keep burping here. I'm kind of gross. Kpixel says, I've been trying out your tutorials and they've really been helping me. I'm still very much beginner and I do get confused sometimes, but thank you. Yeah, no problem. And you know, don't make me do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to upsell myself here. Here's a little advertisement. I released a 30 days beginner tutorial. You don't need any coding knowledge. I teach you how to code one by one. You're going from zero to hero. So check out the course. It's in the link. I know it's a little expensive. So we recently released a discount code. So you'll get 50% off right now. I don't know how long it'll last, but it's to thank all the people that's been supporting me. So that's an opportunity if you think that's something that you're looking for. But otherwise, my free tutorials are out there. So, you know, if you enjoy just that, that's fine too. I just had to say that. And by the way, thanks Pixel for the comment. Covino says absolutely, and try covering it with flashy quick things. Yeah, flashy quick things I'm not really good at. I need to start practicing some of the flashy impactful stuff because I haven't done it enough, but I should do that. True Seeker says absolutely insane RAM prices. Yeah, RAM prices are crazy right now. You know, forget optimization apparently. Ugh. Anyways, life is kind of rough right now. Also, if you are living in, well, I guess you don't have to live in US to be impacted by it because kind of US is a global impact. 2026 is starting to look weird already. So I don't know. We'll see. You know, hoping and praying to whatever entity that can change this life for us. But, you know, whew, life. Hey, Tony. Pixel says, sounds interesting. I'll check it out. Yeah, link is in the description. If you need the, you know what, I'll say it. This is the discount code if you really need it, if it's too expensive, I think. Yeah, Godot one. I'm supposed to keep it secret. This discount code is only for like people on our Discord, but you know what, I'm loosening it up by saying like whoever's here and interested, if you catch me live, you get the discount code. Let's see. True Seeker says, my resolution this year is to go through my Steam library. I love ARPG. I do love ARPG. Okay, I have to say this though. I do love ARPGs. Yeah, I liked it when, Diablo 1 and 2 was out. And then like 3 was pretty good. 3 was like peak, but D2 was peak for me. And then Torchlight after that. Torchlight 2, I think. PoE is fun. I don't know if it's my age. So I play a lot of like action and reaction based games like League of Legends, Warcraft, Starcraft. Never a fighting game, so I never got into stuff like Tekken, but like, like fast twitch reaction games because I was pretty good at it. But more and more, I'm trying to play with my friends and enjoy the games with like those around me. I realize the kind of like level that I like to play in with those games are not something that I can casually enjoy with most of my friends. And so when I'm designing and making a game, I'm trying my best to make games that are accessible to people who are not usually like fast-paced action-oriented people. And I'm trying to like always trying to come up with ways to bridge the gap between like for people who enjoy the elements of fast action reaction, for them to translate those like knowledge, not the skill, not the physical ability, but the knowledge to the game. And that's always a homework for me. Kelso says, yeah, maybe problem solving is a fun game. Why not use AI in the process, not like or fun of it? You mean, I guess for placeholders, I just don't. For me, the fun part is the creating, letting my brain kind of brew while I put pixels down on the canvas. Like if it's just a challenge, if it's just like a YouTube challenge, it's like, oh, I made a game and let AI decide how it, maybe. I just think that that's incredibly uninteresting to me. To me, it's uninteresting, so I don't think I can do that idea justice if I ever really go for it. That's my politically correct answer to that question. But that's that end of that. True is like, any reason why you use AI? And Kelso says, it's just trendy. It's true. I'm not a trend seeker. True Seeker says, I'd rather not use the plagiarism machine. Yeah, I mean, there's the whole like copyright trickiness too. But aside from all the legality, the morality of it all, outside of all that, like I feel like that's also like, to me, I don't want to argue based on morality and like legality, because that's like presenting solution. You're presenting problems that people can come up with solutions with. And my problem isn't that either, right? Like that when I first see the option and what it means to people and say, if would you use this as your tool? And if not, why not? My reason isn't because that. Like it's not because it's a plagiarism machine. Like that's a huge problem. But that's not the point. Like even if they somehow fixed that, I wouldn't think that I would use it. Right? So I'm being honest to myself by saying that's not going to be part of the argument. The part of the argument for me is that it's just not fun. It's just not meaningful for me to do that. And I will never do it, is how I feel about it. Eden says, I'm also kind of thinking about starting a game project again. If I get it to work, it'll be something like the Yog or Monster Prom. I'm not familiar with Yog, actually. I don't know what that is. Visual novel, but very random event like way. Ooh, that could be fun. Yeah. But once again, if you're partaking in this challenge, you don't have to, by the way, Eden. Obviously, you were just saying you're coming up with your own ideas. But what I'm trying to do and test out the theory on is that as long as the game becomes fun within 6 minutes of the game, like the core mechanic is presented, your game will do really well. That's the theory I'm trying to kind of test at the moment. Devi says, I couldn't find the headshot sketch, but I found a creature I did a while back and forgot all. Okay. Well, feel free to share. Oh, I guess you already DM'd me. I'm not going to open your DM right now because we're in stream. Otherwise, you could, if you want to share it to the world, then you can always put it on our showcase, I guess. If you would like people to take a look and say stuff to it. Eden says, also, why let someone else think for you? That really just withdraws from having fun. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the thing. It's like having fun. That's what I mean. I think a lot of people forget. I think the problem is that some people have fun in different aspects, and then they think like, oh, I can get through this part that I don't like fast to get to the part that is fun for me. And for some people, that's just game design and development. And for me, it's the whole thing. Like, I don't want to rush through any of these because every part of that is something that I want to own and it's fun for me. Like, I could love cooking and then I could say, I don't like to prep my ingredients because I don't like doing that. It's just a lot of work. So I'm going to let somebody else do it. So I can focus on designing a dish. Okay, that's fair. But then you don't get to, like, you know, you get the whole like overhead of like, okay, what if you want certain type of presentation? You have to communicate that. You have to like instruct that and all those things. So I think it's kind of similar in that way. Outsourcing certain part of the job so that you can do the part that you find most interesting. Fine. Um, but it's not for me. It is not for me. It is not for me. It wouldn't be Developer Ezra's a game development channel if we're not spending most of the time talking about philosophy of doing things that we like. I feel like that's most of my stream. Most of my stream is just talking about some text here and there every now and then most of the time it's like, okay, what's the meaning of life, everyone? What is the meaning of life? But at the end of the day, that's what we're making games for, to search meaning of life. Dude, I actually really love this palette, but I don't know if I'm seeing it as other people see it because I'm red-green colorblind. Like these red and like this like really like cold green. Man, this looks like it was like aberration, RGB aberration type of situation, but this could look really nice and digital. So Sean says, sorry, just joining in. Is there a challenge regarding your assertion of fun within 6 minutes is good? What about games like RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress where the emergent narrative is part of the fun? Okay, it's fair. I'm not saying, when I say these like quote unquote rules, it's not like end all be all. My problem is that I keep stumbling onto ideas, right? I keep stumbling onto ideas that needs time to express itself, which is good at making like deep fan base. But in terms of like small games that people can taste and be successful immediately. So like games that you want to start out on as practice, as experience, like especially if you have absolutely no experience on working with customers or players, where you have no idea how people would react. Outside of the artistry of it, if you want to, it's like failing rapidly. It seems like in order for you to have some people to test on, they need to be gripped within 6 minutes. Does that make sense? If you have more complex, really deep stuff, like imagine, there are exceptions, right? Dwarf Fortress and RimWorld is an exception. It's really hard to get into. But if they put in some design and level where it does get to it, like how it is right now, eventually, but they kind of guide people in the beginning somehow, like they have that mode where it's really fun within the first seconds, I feel like it would do even better, which is hard to imagine, but it's, that's kind of the idea that I'm working with right now. I know the problem with like 6 minute focus is like it ends up being a lot of like arcadey action game, but I'm trying to kind of evolve out of that. When I say fun though, it's not like immediately like you shoot things and everybody's like powerful and then there's like flashy stuff. I think the idea is, can you tell me why this game is fun within 6 minutes of experience? I guess that will be the loose translation. So if I'm a person who really like strategic RPG or like a simulation based game, I wouldn't have to understand the full engine of how the game works just yet, but by playing like 6 minutes of Dwarf Fortress in the beginning, even though I'm confused, I can see the potential. And if I'm that audience, I can be like, oh, I know what this game is about. I really want to find more about it. Like that needs to trigger for the right audience. So I think that's kind of, if I have to readjust my words, I think that's probably what I would say. Kpixel says, just a question regarding the coding course. What does it entail for the 30 days? Does it teach Dscript like the beginner to advanced? Yes. So it's meant for no coders to learn how to code eventually. So I go over all the beginnings and basics all the way to the advanced topics. That's the goal. And then I do the kind of conversational approach of teaching the knowledge. I guess I should here. I have a video that describes what's in it. First of all, like I recently posted a video talking about what the course includes for the 30 days. And then I just released the unlisted video of like 5-minute video sample of like what the first few minutes of the course looks like. You know what? I'm going to just share it with you. So this is like a really shortened version of the lesson, so I can use it as kind of like a promo. So you can see what the voicing and topic looks like. That's like one of the first lessons. And then if you really want to know the outlines of what the course covers in its entirety, I go over its topics over here. Spaghetti Software says, how long is too long when working on a project? Oh, isn't that the question? Isn't that the ultimate question? You're asking the wrong person. I guess it's too long if you give up on it. But I do think that you should probably give yourself some time. I do think that you should be able to test some part of the fun within a few months. You should be able to test it within a few months. Like, it doesn't have to have everything, but at least you should be able to test if the game is fun or not in actual like playthrough within 3 months if you want to, especially as indie. It's different if you're like already established and you have a name for yourself. And then like, for example, Silksong, right? It was in development forever, but then they proved themselves with Hollow Knight. So people are waiting for them. So it's okay. Like, they're exception because it has reason to be accepted. But for people who are beginning, yes, you can just release your own Stardew Valley and get lucky, or really trust in yourself. I mean, part of artistry is being stubborn, and I believe in that. You do want to be a little bit stubborn in your own like direction, but at the same time, nothing wrong with trying to confirm your bias early, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you can confirm about your bias, see the reaction. It might give you new ideas. Doesn't mean you have to change your direction when there's a feedback, but at least you'll get a little sample of how people might react. But yeah, that's my opinion. Okay. Oh my gosh, I missed a bunch of Twitch chat here. Eden says, also, White let something else. No, I already did that. Critics says, it's great for weakening your creative muscles. No, I really think so. Okay, I made a mistake of using AI in the very first time when it was coming out to like correct my writing a little bit. And then you start to get like a little bit looser and looser. And then I'm starting to use it for research and stuff like that. And then I used to be like, oh, I'm going to check every single fact. And then you get looser and looser until you make a mistake. You go, oh, shoot, that's a huge mistake. And then now you're like wondering like, oh my gosh, I'm actually really too lazy to go through and check and rewrite everything, when it used to be a normal thing. So there is that part too. Spike says, I always feel like the first 10 days you make all the progress and 90% of the game gets built. Then it's 2 years polishing. And I'm in the last 10% phase in my current project. Yeah. I mean, it's a very like notorious and well-known saying, right? Where 99% of the work is done like in the first 10% of the time, and then 90% of the time is everything else. And that's true for software too. That's also why I find these like kind of like the whole speeding up process with AI crew funny. Because what they're actually, the part of the process they're accelerating and empowering themselves for is the prototyping phase. That's all they're doing. Right now, at least. Sure, I'm sure you can do all the other stuff. But prototyping phase never took that long. I mean, sure, it took some time and annoyance to get it out there. But prototyping phase has always been like, 2 to 3 weeks. And the problem is that you might be arguing like, okay, well, drawing something in 2 weeks versus generating image for 2 weeks is completely different. But is it? Like I feel like you might be testing the same type of vibe and mechanic with like placeholders that are kind of simple versus trying to make it look complete when it's not, you know? So Spaghetti says, do you have problem even with your audience finding people who are excited to try and beta test your project? Oh, that is hard. Yes, that's true. People get excited, but then a lot of people have hard time finding it. And think about it yourself. Think about it yourself. If somebody emailed you right now and be like, here's an up and coming game that I need feedback on, immediately, doesn't it feel a little bit like a task you need to do? Where you might even be like, okay, I'm not ready to answer yet, so I don't want to answer this email. Or like, I'm going to put it aside until I am able to test it, and then it gets forgotten, right? So I think there's some guidance that we need to learn from that kind of understanding. Maybe we need to present it like, hey, I released an alpha version. Go play it. It's really fun. Or like, I don't think you can beat this. Go play it. It's really fun. And then sneak a survey at the end. Like don't front it by being like, here's a survey you need to fill out. Please give me a feedback and try this out. It's not complete. This has this error and this error. Oh my gosh, already doesn't sound fun. Yeah, you know? Okay, let's see. With red critics here, the Truth Seeker says, this part of the fun is figuring things out. Yes. Devi says, oh, sure. Truth Seeker also says to critics, yep, trying to figure things out can potentially show you things that you wouldn't have if you had something else generate the ideas for you. Yeah, true. Eden says, the Yogg is very much like Monster Prom, but it's kind of like a medieval setting with inevitable event that will wreck the settlement you're in. So basically medieval Ezra Horror. Okay, that sounds fun, actually. That sounds fun. I'll play that. Hey, McCory, long time no see. I feel like I'm stumbling upon my words a lot today. My tongue is being twisted. Twisted. Um, Maybe I'm tired. Spiga says, yeah, I feel like you have to make your project draw attention on its own. It would be nice to have people reaching out to play it. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm saying, right? So this is why I'm trying to test out this new game design slash launch ideation method right now. It would be cool video to make. And McCory Timely is asking what I'm working on. So I'm going to start another project. I know this is like my 7th game. Um, but with real hard limits, okay? I said to myself, this is a process. Step 1, we're going to pick colors, right? We're going to pick the palette, the vibe that gives me happiness. 2, I'm going to draw creative arts based on those palettes, okay? I'm just going to draw based on what it invokes, just like a normal creative free flow kind of thing. And then look at those drawing and images and see what mechanics and gameplay I can come up with it. So it's like I'm coming from the visual vibe, or coming up with a mechanic and gameplay based on the visual vibe that I feel natural and creative about. But the limit of the mechanic and the gameplay is that the criteria is I have to make a game so simple or so easy to understand, so intuitive or whatever, that within 6 minutes of playing the game, within 6 minutes of the first 6 minutes of playing the game, maybe even shorter, that players should be having fun, or player can imagine having fun within first 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Like they get the game, play the game immediately, instead of going through all these like um, ramping up of the mechanics, because that's my weakness. And I'm gonna make it so that like I don't work on it more than like 2 weeks, and then just launch it. So that's the goal right now. That's what I'm doing. Could be fun. Devi says, I put in it in showcase, but it made it a thread, so I did my best. Oh, I see. Whoops. Oh, weird. Okay. Oh, hey, look, I love this vibe. Well, it's kind of like a scary ethereal monster dog. Kind of sphinxy, alien sphinx. Some old sketches. Wow. I love your art. Looks great. Wow. Fun stuff. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, we'll do that too eventually. So I was also talking about it would be a cool video idea to take people's art, viewers' art, and make game out of it. Just like look at the art and see what kind of vibe it gives, and try to come up with a game idea from the art. It's like Game Jam, except the topic is the art instead of some words. McCory says, yeah, been a while. Every time you stream, I am out and always get back like an hour after you end. I know, I'm sorry. McCory says, by the way, if you need any TAs for the course, I feel free to reach out. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That would probably help a lot, especially if I start getting more traffic into the course. Hey, look, it's been received positively, so I'm excited about it. We'll see. We'll see. I do realize, whatever, we're not going to talk about it anymore. There's a 30-day course, everybody. Just go check it out. If you have anybody who doesn't know coding and wants to get started in Godot and don't know how to get started, of course, share it with them. Thank you. Thank you. And we're going to move on here. Now, Stream is just Ezra advertising his course. I've sold out. I've changed. You've changed. Is the 500 days of summer Ezra version. Let's see. Eden says creativity is mostly being stubborn. Absolutely, yeah. I just talked to my therapist about this too. We had a fun conversation because my therapist is also working on a book, writing a book too. So we get to talk about kind of like the creative process and generating things that's less than corporatized. Truth Seeker says, in my opinion, if something about the game is constantly being, and that happens to multiple mechanics of the game, that's when it starts to take a long time, in my opinion. Constantly being changed. Yeah. I mean, I think the change itself is okay. Introducing change and taking a long time might be okay. I think the problem is like introducing those changes too early on. And then the worst version of that is you have this final game that's really fun, but then any steps before that is so unfun. What do you do? Right? Like you could be like, no, trust me, like this movie gets good or this series gets good, and it does, but it takes like hours of unfun experience. You might say it's worth it, but it's hard to convince people to stick around with it. Like you don't want to have to like convince people. You want the convincing to happen, like speak for yourself type of situation, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. It's like the idea of making a pop game versus jazz game, right? In some sense, it's like a pop music versus jazz, or like, you know, niche topic getting nicher. That's always the case. And this color scheme is kind of crazy. Let's see. Debbie says, I'll ask my sister if you can take her art. Her head might explode. Hey, I don't know what you're gonna tell her about that, but you know, I'll be excited to see. I love looking at art. Because says, by the way, instead of putting the error message for the water redeem, it should autoplant. I think I still have access to the repo. I'll see if I can add it. That is, if you have pushed your I need to push my changes. The merge is gonna be crazy. I don't have the Git credential right now, so I don't think I can push right now. Should it auto plant? I don't know. It's like yes, it's like a I don't know. Quality of life, or is it taking points unnecessarily? Got to be careful with those type of decision, I think. But it's a cool idea. I see it. It seems like I have a I have a very much preference of type of things that I'm selecting as my favorite. All right, you know what? I think this is good enough palette hunting for now. I'm gonna go look at my liked ones. How do I do that? My likes. Ooh, so many. And we're gonna choose one. Maybe we'll choose a simple palette so we don't have to worry too much about like um repeated usage. Vibrant, simple, pastel, dark. What are we feeling? Fantastical, angelic, they call it. This one feels retro. Hmm. This is the hard part. I gotta choose one. Debbie says, cleaning berry stuff, lol. Learning, not cleaning. Oh, I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? Our berries can be cleaned? True Seeker says, yep. The early game has to be smooth so for the late game to be accessible. Yeah, exactly. But Chris says, whimsical. Yeah. Jacob Dev says, hey, Jacob. Welcome. All right. I think whimsical is probably good. Something whimsical. Whimsical like this whimsical. All right, how about this? Just shout out the palette. If you see a palette name that you're like, oh my gosh, do that one. I'll see it. Mikuri. Meanwhile, I'm gonna also do my own pick. I'm really drawn to this one. Gopuri. I like this because of the example image is awesome. Octo this one? This one? Devi says, rating this side. Oh, hell yeah. You're on both sides now. Double dipping crew, YouTube and Twitch. That's right. Baka Design says, hello. Hi, Baka. Welcome. And thanks for the first time chat here. We're making our games right now. We're going through palettes to choose. The process is choose palette, draw some pixel art, and then make games out of it. And that's where we're at. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm going to create a new folder here. I don't know what the appropriate folder would be. Under document. Should I do it under document? I think so. Or not. I'm going to do a desktop here so that I don't have to explore too much. We're going to create our new folder. This one is going to be called, what do we say? We said we're going to make a quick game number 1. Oh, actually, I already have a folder, don't I? Whoops. I guess I should just do that. So documents. It's under Godot project, I think. Oh, nope. I don't know how to find it. I hate that some of the like folders that auto selects is so deeply embedded. I wish it's easier to access, but alas. This is my own poison to swallow. Quick game number 1 here. We're going to do some vibing here. Not to be confused with vibing in terms of using AI. I'm like literally vibing before AI was a thing. Vibe art. I shouldn't call it that. People are going to be like, oh, you're using AI. I'm already getting accused by people saying that I look like AI on the screen. Okay, we're going to pixel art freeform. We're going to use this as our directory. We'll create some new ones here. How about 256 by 256 so that we can just kind of explore this? We're going to load some palettes here. I'll download. How do I do that? PNG image. 1 pixel PNG image. And then I can drag and drop this, I think. Like that? Yeah. Cool. Truth Seeker says, how many palettes have you selected so far? A lot. Look, I have a lot. I mean, I picked what I thought is the best ones. I actually kind of like this one a lot. This reminds me of our Dread on Arrival palette. Let's see. Baka says, I'm on the way to make an Sprite script to make palettes and tiles to quickly prototype. Would you mind taking a look at it and give feedback? Yeah, sure. I've never used plugin with Sprite before, so I might be stumbling upon how to do that, but I'll check it out. You know what? Go to Discord. Do all the introduction stuff or like all the checking, and then please explain what the plugin is, and then drop the link maybe. And gosh, why is my Discord not working? My bot is a little slow today, it seems. Is my internet down? Am I still streaming? I think so. Eden says, people just like shouting AI at this point, and I think it's both annoying and a good sign that the general public finally starts to be annoyed with AI finally. Yeah, I mean, it's meme. Also, people don't take AI seriously anymore, so this is what it is. Let's see. True Seeker says, monochromatic palettes look so good. Yeah, I love it. I mean, also it's really good for like people like me who have issues with color in general. I think you can just load, not the preset. Yeah. Load palette. We're gonna go to our usual stomping ground. Hey, you planted very folksy, Devi. Get that, get that. The best part of blind box is choosing which berry you hope you get. Wizard berry, dice berry, squat berry. Oh, you got the Barry Allen. Nice. You got the Speedy Boy. You gotta collect them all, trade them. You'd be like, if you give me blah, I'll give you. Also, there's a shiny version of each one of them, by the way. There's a shiny version of the berries. Davy's like, I'm fast as heck, boy. Yeah. Did you know if you do jump command, you can also jump? If you do kick command, so if you do jump, your berry jumps. If you do kick, you can kick other berries. Yeah, see? Now you're playing. Okay. Quick game number 1. All right. This is our palette. Let's see how creative we can actually get. Now, we're not strictly limited, I think, to the palette. I do believe we have to like go outside of the palette a little bit in order to make sure things stand out. I'm not really sure what it's giving me yet. What vibe am I grabbing out of this? Oh, jeez. I think my YouTube stream is struggling right now. I don't know what's happening. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video. YouTube, come on, man. Debbie says, jump. Go, Speed Racer, go. Speed Racer, go. Speed Racer, go. Chuckle says, is there a Dracula berry? No, there isn't. We should probably make one. I mean, this one just definitely is invoking the feeling of a moon and skeleton. What are we seeing here? Some light candela. Da, da, da. People probably like, what is this creative process? You're just putting colors down. Yes, I am just putting colors down. I don't have a creative process. I just put things down and see what it looks like to me, okay? Da, 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 da. I don't know. The simple character better? Maybe. The coldness doesn't really, to me, read as a main character. Debbie Kaiser says, food. Food? Burger? True Seeker says burger. What are we talking about? Hey, Cooley. All right, let me see. What am I seeing here? Wow. Art Block is scared of me. Art Block fears me because I just force myself through it. I have no idea what to draw. So what I do, I just draw pixels and hope that eventually it arrives at a shape. All right. Let's see what the what's going on here. All right. Okay, I see a flame here. What's the flame doing? Is it a flame? I think so. Okay. Okay, hold on. I gotta create a new layer here now. Oops, wrong one. Da, 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 da. Okay. Well, normally, isn't the brightest part of the flame the center, not the outer? I mean, am I right? Because it goes from yellow into center and red on the outside, right? Kind of like this. I mean, it's lame. I'm not going to make a flame as part of the central theme of the game. But I'm going to draw it anyways, because that's what's giving me right now. I'm feeling this. So I shall obey my brain. I obey my brain. I am a simple creature. I won't let my logic and reason get in the way of the process. You know? Eventually, something will happen here. Okay, interesting. Deshaun says, with the claw, I'm drawing a blank on his name. What? Oh, wait. Oh, the claw. Oh, over here? The Zoidberg, right? Your palette, my palette. Oh, are you using the palette right now? Are we doing the exercise together? Truth Seeker says burger splattered. Ah, I see what you mean. Okay, I see it. I see it. Debbie says the butler in the library. Hold on. Thanks for the sub, Drew, and thanks for the. Whoa, I don't know. Yeah, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Let's see. Debbie says the butler in the library with a candlestick. Oh, we got a real creative people out here. Okay, butler in the library with a candlestick. You know what? I'll do it. Maybe the butler looks like this. This is a butler with a shadow. There's a butler shadow, right? Of course. And then, maybe the butler is like this. And then butler's holding a candlestick like that. I think that's some part of artistry in there. I can see that. And then it's like walk, 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 walk. Da, 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 da. Bzz, ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Expressing image with such small number of pixels is definitely hard, but we see it. True Seeker says, looks like a hand holding a flame ball. Flame on. Yeah, I could see that too. This one right here? Yeah. What if I actually wanted to draw a hand? What would the hand look like? Right? Do I know what hand looks like? I think so. Maybe I will do it outside of this layer so I don't have to worry about destroying my flame. So typically, right? Remember, there's only so many pixels I can work with, so sometimes it's not going to look accurate. But that's what you work with. You start with that. Maybe we could do this instead, and then we're gonna go probably darker, something like that. Right. It's almost there. Is it starting to look like a hand a little bit? Maybe. If you look, so this is the important part, by the way. Don't pay attention to this. You got to look at the top right corner here as a preview. Zishan says, no, I mean the pink in your palette reminds me of him. Oh, the pink is a Zoidberg color? Yeah, no, I get it. Truth Seeker says, yep. Baka says, can I post the Lua script into Discord? Yeah, sure. I don't know what it does though. Put it in general. It's fine. Put a little explanation. You said something about the script is supposed to be something palette, I guess. Chuckle says, I see a dude proposing to the flame. Oh, wow. It's a date everything except you're dating the flame now. That's the game, of course. Genius. We got geniuses up in here. Bunch of geniuses and their genius ideas. Um That's kind of funny. You know what? I mean, it's not too bad. I see it. And then, it's going to skip some lines here. And of course, I can't draw all the details. There's just not enough information to draw all the details with. So you got some of these things going on like that. And that's at that resolution, that's as good as it has to be, I think. I mean, it's a little chunky here. And obviously you might go for something softer, but it's okay. As long as it invokes the feeling. Hold on. Like that. Then have this be like this. Devi says, take my strong hand. I think that might be an old reference that a lot of people don't get anymore. Only RH. Quiz says, my eyes. Bedtime to look over. Wait, what happened? Oh, my. Boom. Take that. Hold on. Message request. Is that you? Okay. Hello. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't. Okay, here we go. Hello. Here's a script for prototype. It's a first try. You add it in Sprite file script, open script folder, and rescan. Then you can select it. It takes two main colors, create some shades sometime. Ooh, okay. Jeez. It takes two main colors, create some shades, some tile value to select, and then generate several layers. Okay. I mean, I never used script on Sprite before, so I'm a little bit excited. Let's see. We'll do it on the new canvas here. So you go to File, Scripts, Open Scripts, and then what? Get the thing? Okay, it just opened the script. Hold on. File, Scripts, rescan scripts folder. I don't know where my scripts folder is. Oh, this is my script folder. Okay, I see. So I gotta move the thing to there. Okay, hold on. I got it. Okay. And then scripts, rescan. I rescanned. Okay, prototile. Do you want to run the following script? Warning, scripts can crash. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Ooh, look at that. I can choose. How do I? Oh, can I just choose like that? Oh, okay. So it's doing the color shifting, and you can change the. Okay, you can add to the palette. Not sure what the tile size and wall size means. Oh, do I choose? Okay, I see. Oh, I see. So you got to do secondary color. So you can do, let's say I can do this. So on my HSV, I can choose, let's say, I'm going to choose this shade of green. I'm going to choose that. And then secondary color could be, hold on, I'll choose this one as the primary. And then my secondary color can be something like this. And then I do that. And it gives me two different shades of color thing that I can add. Choose darker, normal. I feel like the colors sometimes change with this. Like you see how this color changes? Even though I'm not doing get color. What the heck? I'm having a bad time, as in like I'm having a terrible user experience because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Let's see. Baka says you put the file here, you choose an sprite, then click get, but secondary isn't used yet. It'll be for the doodads. Oh, I see. Okay, but sometimes it works. It seems. Oh, it's because I'm selecting it, isn't it? Wait, I'm not really sure. Sometimes. Oh, I guess it's just delayed. Because sometimes the color changes, sometimes it doesn't. You see how I'm like changing different colors? And sometimes the color gets updated and sometimes it doesn't. It's a little bit confusing. But okay. I mean, I see it. It's pretty cool. Oh, I see. And then you can generate a little sample for it. Cool. And that's a pretty cool script. I mean, I can see this being very useful. Currently, I have no use for it at this current moment because I already chose a palette, but I can see it. I say keep working on it because I would love to see it develop more. And I'll be happy to test it even more. The bomb says, sup? Hey, bomb. It's pretty cool. We're doing well. Baka says, okay, thanks. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for sharing. Okay. It's giving very fantasy feel, doesn't it? Or like, at least like castle-y. Like there's definitely like a library somewhere in here. So for example, if I do like diorama, I'm not really good at dithering to find new color, but I can see like a scene where, let's see. So you might have something like this. And then like you have these people. Obviously, okay, the problem with the limited color is that sometimes like the figures don't stand out on top of it. So we got to be really careful with what color we use for what. I can't just like put a new color and surround everything by like black because that's going to be a completely different information. So we'll have to be careful there. But basically, what I'm seeing is you might have something like this. And then I guess I could do this. Let's say you have something like this, potentially. And then within it, you might have like different color stuff. Like that. That kind of looks like a bookshelf, right? Is everybody seeing what I'm seeing here? Do you see the vision? Do you see my vision? You know, in some sense. Though I have to say, working with the limited color palette is actually really tough, huh? I mean, this is not just any color palette limitation. It's like really strict. True Seeker says it does look like a bookshelf, yeah. I mean, how many can I draw this, right? But I could see this. And then if we kind of stick to this like front image, and then we say, you know what, we're going to commit because there's limited palette. What it does give us, if we're working at this level of detail, then we definitely can't afford to do any kind of outlining, because outlining is basically as thick as a single book, which is a huge information loss. Alternatively, we could get bigger. We could just be like, you know what, we're going to forget that. We're going to actually make a character here. We could have a character that's like a little bit more silhouetted. So I'm going to do a little silhouette here, see what the character looks like. Why are my characters looking like creepy little things always? So I'm seeing something like this too. Yeah. Elf on a shelf, yeah. With the little like little chain. Maybe this is better. To stand out from the warm color of the environment, we can make the main character a little bit cooler. If it is a main character. And then you'll have something like... It does seem like I do like a pointy head. This is not my first time drawing a pointy head, I think. Definitely struggling. What is this? I don't know. Maybe I'm not vibing with this. I do like the opportunity to have something like crazy. True Seeker says a specter head. Yeah, indeed. What if it's like actually a visor? It's actually here. What if I do something like this? And then goes like that. You see what I'm saying? When I say visor? I don't know if it translates as I intend it to. True Seeker says, a visor for paranormal detection with the lamp. Ooh, we're getting there. We're kind of getting there. Okay. And then it's like, there's like a little... Hold on. Oh, maybe this is not the color. Maybe it's this color. Maybe we go with this here. And then we can have something like this. Does this... Hopefully this reads as like a foggy breath air. And then you see like little... something like that. right? I can't afford to use so much information on doing like shading and stuff like that, so I need to make sure I stay true to this like very like compartmentalized information. Okay. Helmet, lantern. What if the helmet, hold on, we're gonna, let's see, what could the helmet look like that may make it feel a little bit more, I mean, I already like the kind of like a spacey feel, like it's almost futuristic, but then it's like futuristic but still medieval vibe because of the lantern and the color palette. Something is being invoked. So what if we use the like a normal like um knight's armor as a motif, but still try to keep it like a motorcycle bike helmet type of situation? Chuckle says, does look like something from Look Outside. I'm not familiar with that. Look Outside game. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see it. The pixel art is pretty dope, though. This is really high quality work. Reminds me of retro pixel art. Drew Seeker says, ooh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to look at some Knight's Helm. And then we're going to take some inspiration here. The holes are kind of interesting. The cross. Okay, if it's like, all right, I got it. I see it. I see it. So we're going to take a really harsh stance on narrowing this down. And then we're going to make sure that, you know, we'll take some of these. I don't know where these color came from, but if we do that, I think we can shift down to this color. Still not trying to do too much shading here. That's the hard part. I'm so tempted to do shading that I'm like really fighting myself because there's just not enough information to or not enough palette to express all that. So I gotta make sure I stay reserved. Elf Nazgul. Yeah. Baka says maybe like a circle at the back of the visor for the hinge. Oh, you mean like right here? Okay, I see that. Let's see. I'm trying to think what color to give it. How about we do a harsh half cut instead of doing the glow rounded cut so that it looks like there's like a middle crease to go along with the middle crease of the gauntlet. I'm giving a high contrast like look so that we can separate the lights and the darks pretty harshly. And then I'm still taking this like shape information as a motif. Angle it out a little bit. And I don't know if I like the holes. I almost feel like I don't want the holes. I want it to be like a, maybe a line. I'm going to have to work on this a little more. That's good. The mouthpiece I'm still not married to yet, so I'm working on this. Definitely a helmet. You know what? I do like the bigger visor. I'm just going to keep it big here. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Shuri. Shridev. Shridev says, Yoroshikani Ezra. Happy to join the live. Hello, Shuri. Thanks for joining the live. We are just kind of vibing out here, just drawing and then trying to make some game ideas out of it. True says, I can't imagine the elf just sitting and going inside the helmet as a shield, like a turtle. Okay. Interesting. Does that mean, should there be like, is this too much? Does this look like a ear? No, it kind of looks like a wing coming out of it instead of ear. Um, let's see. What if I put a really dark image? Like does that look like eyes peeking through the visor? Like a semi-transparent eyes? I mean, you might be like, why would the ear be exposed for the helmet? Well, don't ask me. The ear needs a breathing hole, you know? What does this elf look like outside of the helmet? I guess that's also another question we need to ask, for sure. All right. I kind of like it in some weird ways. Um let's make it slightly pointy though. Mike R says, morning. Hello, Mike. Welcome. We gotta be careful here because some of these color information. True Seeker says the elf has no head. It is paranormal being. It's like the what do you call the headless horseman? I do think maybe there's an opportunity to like shade this out like so. I'm starting to lose the illusion of the visor. I think I'm gonna get rid of the eyes that's showing through. Man, this is hard. Part of me is like, should I just go ahead and make it even more higher resolution instead of like this low of a resolution? I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be losing some of its like beauty as I go. Oh, True Seeker says, ooh, the lamp can conjure the smoke as the shape of a horse. Lantern and smoke is kind of cool. I do think that the smoke is big part of the imagery here. Cause it's like this color against this blue is so smoky. Like you can't deny it. It feels like it should be some of the main thing that happens here. Headless elf horseman. Also, by the way, don't forget we got to make sure that things. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna draw until it feels good, and then we're gonna make something out of it. So, fine. I won't limit myself just quite yet. And then, yeah. What if I do like this? Kind of looks cool. I mean, I can see it in my mind's eye, I see what this is, but I don't know if it looks the same uh in other people's eyes as it does to me. Because in my mind's eye, I can clearly see the shape of this like almost mecha like uh you know, this almost mecha like helm. But I don't know if the same can be said about other people who's seeing it. My car says, "What's the best way to make custom icons for nodes in add-ons?" Best way to make custom icons for nodes? I was asking this other day, where I was like, "How do you make vector art?" And then people are posting a bunch of stuff. So might have to ask that again. Everybody, what's the best way to make vector art? Because I can't do it with my normal program. Debbie says, "I'm back with food if you said anything to me." My answer is yes. Okay, great. Thank you. I'll be waiting for my payment in 2 days. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. We weren't really saying much to you. I wasn't saying anything. We're just Inkscape. Yes, that's right. That sounds familiar. Inkscape for vector art. Okay, look, we got the elf in a helmet holding a lantern while breathing really hard. What does the rest of the body look like? I feel like it might be kind of interesting or cute if this elf creature is actually not very geared up in terms of what it's wearing, right? Da-dun, 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 da-da, da-da-da-dun. Something like that, right? I do think that it needs to be a little bit scrawny. I gotta make sure this elf creature doesn't get too buff. Even though, honestly, drawing a buff character is easier in pixel art because it's easier to shape the body. Mike R says, Inkscape is my go-to tool for vector art, so the icons for nodes need to be vector art. Yeah, that's the best way for it to look good from my experience. I tried pixel art and it looks really terrible, especially because it has like a variable sizes and resolution. Davey says, lol, I was literally going to write the wire transfer take a few days. Yeah, exactly. Baka says, Cosmo Elf Knight. He might need a cape. You think so? You know what? Honestly, making a cape might giving him a cape might actually make drawing easier. Kind of like what they did with the Silk Song. Now I have a choice here. I can do the whole Silk Song thing and completely cover him in like a robe situation, right? Or like a little mouse in a potato sack type of thing. Kind of cute. You see what I'm saying? Is this a cop out? The Truth Seeker says, it looks like the elf is wearing suit about to go on a bike ride. Yes, it's the biker elf. Devi says, nah, that's cute. That's good. I do think that is cute. True Seeker also says, and then you'll just need 2 frames for the walking running animation, which is very convenient. Yes, easier to animate. Yes, we'll go for that then. You know, I'll be a little bit more here. How about this? I can have some. Hold on, I have a word that I wanted to say, but I don't remember the word. I can have some dignity or like something by giving a little bit more shape and then also giving a bit of a just tiny bit of a shading. I could do that. That might give us a little bit more um feelings of, hey, you know what? This is not just an entirely cop-out. Let's see, what's the best way to do that? I don't want to also give too much information though. I don't know. It's like the summarizing is always the hardest part of the art. Is like, okay, well, you want to also get rid of a bunch of information where the shadows blend into the shadows. But also, I'm tempted to put one more color down here. I mean, this is brighter. Blue shadow is kind of cool. If I can get this to be darker. Right? I mean, this doesn't work because it's too bright. I think. But it is kind of cool. Is that too crazy? Feels a little crazy. Because this gives me an opportunity to do like ambient occlusion like this, then put rest of the shadow onto a blue track. This is a little advanced for my eyes. It's a little too advanced for my eyes. My eyes are struggling. I mean, it's a strong hue shift shadow. It's not just hue shift shadow. It's a strong hue shift shadow. So I'm a little bit scared of it. Also, it's losing a lot of shape information. You know what? I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save the blue as a rim light to give that extra pop, so I can distinguish the shape a little more. So I'll do this, for example. So I could do on the outer word, give a little bit of shape information like this, like where's the chunk is. You know what I mean? And then do something like that, maybe. Kind of looks like a mouse now with the tail. I do like the potato sack shape more, I have to say. I'll do this. Not bad. The 3D-ness might be a little bit lost here, but I think we can work with this a little bit. YouTube Displant says, or not YouTube, White Displant says, hello, pizza rolls. Hello, pizza rolls. We all pizza rolls in this blessed day. We got some vibe going on here. All right. I mean, I do feel like the top of the hand needs to be a little bit brighter. I mean, it's obviously the other hand. Shoulder here and extending out. Maybe it should extend out a little more. Like so. So that does more. That feels okay? What do you think? Feels like it reads. The information is reading. And then we're definitely saying that the light source is kind of like top. There's a little bit of an inconsistent lighting going on here. Gonna have to be very careful here how I express this. Maybe give it a little bit more like hanging rag situation here somehow. Like that feels better. Baka says, looks like the color range of the Disney Aladdin reds and strong blue shadow. You know what? You're right. That's probably why we're ending up making a lot of like smoky, fluidy, like gin like shapes as well. Da 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 da. I'm gonna get copyright striked as soon as I sing it. If I go Prince Ali, Fabulous Bob. Shh. No copyright strike here. Because this one is dipping down, and I don't think I can go any darker. This is the darkest color we can do right now. Devi's like finishing my word. Yeah. Do I put more information? You know, I can't call this enough. Honestly, in motion, this might actually work out better. And then alternatively, right, we could also express the non-helmet version of the face. So we could have like a helmet as an equipment. Now, I'm not really sure what the mechanic of wearing the helmet is. But what do you think we can think about that afterwards. We don't have to worry about that just yet. We can make a cute shape. Hold on. Just do that. And then ooh. The shading might be a little bit rough. I think we might have to keep the simple shape here. And maybe we just go like that. We can do this or this. No mouth necessary. I mean, we could always give a little glint this way. I'm trying not to do too much shading out here, as I said. Maybe I could give a little bit of shading down here, the neck area. Suddenly, it doesn't look like a shading, but it looks like a bearded elf. I don't know. It went from like cute to middle-aged bald man. Debbie says, "Oh my gosh, Blender is on tablets now." Oh, it is. That's pretty sick. Time to get some Blender out, right? Just like Nightmare. Yeah, just like Nightmare went from cute to middle-aged man. Yeah. Hey, can I borrow some light? Jeez. Debbie says I'm sending my therapist bill to you. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's fair. I don't know. I kind of like the mustache. Am I wrong for that? I mean, it feels kind of right. Maybe I put a little wisp like so. Does that make it better? Debbie says he looks like he's coming to ask me about my taxes. I don't know. I kind of like the vibe. I have to admit, I kind of like the vibe. Baka says, "Oh, that hair does the trick." Yeah, it has that characteristic, right? It has that a little character. Yeah, yeah. Baka says, "Can he still have a little hat even under the helmet?" Lol. Yeah, I mean, a little wisp of hair for sure. That works. Um, gee, I'm enjoying this a little bit too much, but I do like it. I like it a lot, actually. There he is. Debbie says they should be able to hide in ground and only have their heads show. Yes. Um, or their hair sticks out a little bit like that, and then they can like peek out. I love that. Um, I think it's kind of nice. I think I would play this game if I saw this. I think as a character moving around in some sort of like this like haunted library or something. I think I could see myself playing that game. Thanks for the follow. What is it? Nethminchamika? Nethminchamika? Hi. Welcome. But I think I see the potential here. Oh, this is looking great. I think we're really getting the vibe here. I guess the question is, what is the 5-minute gameplay? But, you know, I'm not worried about that. Okay. What kind of environment does this invoke? Like when it's walking around, is this kind of like a platformer type of situation in terms of angle? What are the tiles? Or is it like Edwardian / Victorian era Britain? Kind of like Nosferatu. Um, you know? I do like this though. I like the idea of like the shade just being this like this is the shadow. Like everything is this like dark purple color or whatever you guys call this color. Yeah, assuming I'm colorblind. And it's like something like this. Devi says, my little seed dude is super small. Okay, so there's a trick. If you get the same type of berry, more you have, the bigger you get. More of that kind you have, the bigger you are. So if you only have one of a kind, then you will be very small. But if you have multiple, you'll be a lot. Also, you can change your berries between the ones that you own by using the change berry command. Just an FYI. Okay. Let's say I have something like this, right? I could see this kind of walk. Maybe I separate it with a shadow, like a little side platformer. Debbie says, I think, oh no, it's change, here. Berry command. Wait, is that not it? Commands. Hello? It's change berry. Also, you could do berries to see what berry you have, and you can go change berry and then name of the berry as well. Dead P says, how much money have you made from selling games so far? Why do you ask? Not enough to make YouTube video about. How about that? But soon to be different. This is the year. This is the year where I can go, I made 7 games and made bazillion copy sales. Here's how I did it. The truth is, I haven't really released anything that I can actually put in outside of my resume. I could put it in my resume, but I mean, technically I worked at, big companies, worked on a game team, and I made like money working as an engineer. So I could say I made pretty significant amount of dollar working in a game. However, I didn't make the money out of the game, so I don't think that counts. Now, the honesty should give you comfort because my knowledge doesn't come from the fact that I made a successful game. My knowledge comes from, I'm pretty clear. I am aware of how to make things happen, as in like develop programs. I know how to program. I know how to talk about game design. I actually know how to finish a project. I just haven't done it. So I'm going to do that as kind of like a proof of point because I come from an industry that finishes project. So, but yeah. But if you ask me how much money I made just from making games, I'm going to say 0. I'm going to say 0 for now. And when I can feel really like I own the pieces that I made, I'll update that. Baka says, he's the guardian of the library, but it's so vast he has to ride his little steampunk bike to go around shelves. I like that. Did you just stare into my soul? Did I? Did you see me? Here, let me give you the soul staring. Is this it? Okay, there it is. That's my soul staring. My car says it can be done. Look at how to feed a black hole. Huh? What is that in context of? My car says, I think the theme for this year, 2026, is going to be ... in a dramatic voice with music in the background. Finish it! Yeah, exactly. That's going to be what we're going to be doing. We are all going to finish it. Every single one of you, every single viewers, subscribers, and followers of my channel, what you're going to do, I'm giving the vibe right now. We are going to finish our game today. Or not today. This year, 2026, we're going to finish. Because either we finish our game this year or the world is going to end, right? So might as well finish something and share something before the world ends, right? That's one way to see it. My car says making money, ... I'm planning on finishing stuff this year. Oh, making money, black hole? Yeah. I'm planning on finishing stuff this year, both assets and at least one game. Yeah. Baka Design says it's empty. What's empty? What's empty? In any case, we're going to finish. We're going to sell. We're going to have a great time. World is going to end. We're going to have a joyous time. But before we do that, we're going to gather around and dance and sing Kumbaya. And we'll talk about how much we love art and game. I don't know. I kind of like this right here, kind of because it matches, but I do want to actually express rest of the kind of like the map. Like the tiles would look like something like this. We definitely need a flat ground, and then we'll start with the flat ground. And we definitely want the top part to be highlighted, right? Because that's how you separate the ground to the bottom. My car says, after the talks last stream, have started my GAS Lite add-on. Now that's awesome. Get that going. Give it to us. Share it. I would love that. Now, what is this floor? And do I actually need to make it anything more expressive than this? I don't think so. Remember, this game, I just need to express the vibe and the mechanic within 6 minutes. And I'm going to launch it. This will be launched in 2 weeks, by the way. Free demo available, $1. Baka says, isn't that the kind of character who would have a little minion animal following him everywhere? I think so. I think that could be cool and cute. What if it has like a little I don't know, like ambiguous animal companion? Something like this. Maybe I'll make the eyes a little bit higher so it's looking up. But like you're not sure what this animal is. Let's see. How about this? Wider set of eyes. No. I do want to put a little nose because cute. Yes, I love that. Somebody said he could have the same type of hair. Yes. It's actually a shapeshifter. And then maybe I just go like this. Hold on. There's not enough. The tongue doesn't quite work well. Sorry, I'm just working on this shape a little bit. I guess that's kind of cute. Yeah, that works. Like that. I wish there was one more color I can use here, but I don't know. I think we can work with this. Then we'll make him look slightly fluffy. A little bit of line like that. Like that? That kind of works, right? This companion can be found later in the game, I guess. Maybe the first thing you do is like he's looking for he's chasing the animal, maybe. You know what? I actually like how this looks. Am I crazy? Or does this actually have a potential? Oh, you know what? It'll be cool if we have a platformer where it's this guy chasing this thing, and then he gets to pick up the lantern and the helmet, and that does different things. It's like a puzzle platformer, right? I could see that. And we said the lantern light could potentially diffuse things. That'd be fun. And we don't really have to explain anything. I think I got some idea of like how, like how this world kind of feels like the shadow is just the background art. Like it's same. It's like the shadow doesn't quite feel like it's disappearing into the shadow. It just feels like it's disappearing, period. So it could be that anything that is not lit up doesn't exist, basically. And like you fall through. I feel like there is a gameplay where it's like, where if you don't light things up, it doesn't exist type of situation. Yeah. And then the spirit pooch maybe have a is a self glowing, so he can go wherever he wants. Maybe could be fun. Um, let's see. So we're gonna do this platform, simple platform, nothing crazy, but I do want to add one more flavor here. So I'm gonna have it transition into the shadow, maybe like that. Kind of like this. It reminds me of those like kind of faded wood a little bit, if you will. Like a kind of dirty, not dirty, but like scratched wood panel where the paint's coming off a little bit. Feels like that. That could be the panel. Baka Design says he has an accident with his bike. A book. We're really sticking with the bike motif. I guess it's because of the helmet, right? At least Baka wants to stay with the bike theme. He has an accident with his bike. A book fell from the shelf. This little animal was trapped inside for centuries. You just made it free and it follow you from now on. Yes. Okay, maybe. You know what? I'm not going to explain too much about what that is, but I do like the idea of like, okay, well, we do need to decide, has this person accidentally arrived at this location, or does he have like actual information about the situation, because I don't mind just dropping him into this like new world and then he's just going around doing things and finding things out as a main character. But at the same time, I do want to have a little bit of decision. A little bit of decision on, like, it has to be like this. I'm going to put this on the new layer. Pretty cool. It's looking like something. Um, let's see. Brainstorm art. Baka says a magical companion trapped by a spell in this old book. Ooh, you're in a book. Kind of like that. Sherry says, let's brainstorm together. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing here. We're brainstorming. We're trying to make a game. And once again, remember, I'm going to kind of tighten it up so that the gameplay, the fun part, the main mechanic of the gameplay is experienced by 6 minutes into the game. Whether it be the story component, the vibe, the movement and puzzling, the jumping, whatever the main mechanic is, should be there within 6 minutes. Baka says it's a mystical elven library. Some old magical book could be portals to other mysterious place. Yes. Ooh, okay. So and I think there's an idea of like, I definitely want to just kind of play with the fact that you do need to light your path. You do need to light your path. And then the whole thing is that the environment is faded or lethal. So you do need to light in order to move. And I think the helmet with the whole breathing thing allows you to breathe magic, like breathe out magic and see magic. And I think there could be some interesting mechanic that's involved with that. Now, the question is, do you introduce the character with the helmet on first and then the helmet pops off? Or do you do this and then go to this? You know? But I really like the library idea. Okay. So we have books on books. So how would the books look like? I mean, the problem with the bookshelf in the background is that I do feel like we need to start adding more colors, because I don't think this can, like, let's say if I draw something like um, this over here. Let's see. Like that. I do wonder if I need to even care about the environmental art at all. Yeah, that's a fair question. So if I say, okay, well, this is a bookshelf, and then the books are present here. I mean, I'm keeping it kind of like muted because I'm trying to be like, well, this is background. So I don't want to do anything crazy here. And then I could do something like this, where you see something like that. And then we could have more like this type of, hopefully that looks like open page. Maybe I need to dig deeper here. Like that. Like so. Like that. And then you could have some other books. Now, if this is in the background, would that feel crazy? I mean, I might have to put a little bit of film or overlay to make sure. I mean, I guess that's not too bad. Could be worse. Oops. not bad, I think. The character clarity does become a little bit of a problem, but I think it looks okay. Hey, thanks for the raid, Steam Coco. Welcome. Hey, we got steamed. Shout out. Steamed Coco. Hello. I hope your stream went well. Steam stream. Do tell our beautiful viewers out here what you are up to. Meanwhile, if I have to explain myself, I am in another one of my game projects start, but I want to do something different. So the main thing is that I wanted to make a game where I want to focus on making a simple mechanic where the fun and main fun of the game is realized within 6 minutes of gameplay. And I don't want the gameplay to be too complex where it takes longer than that. But before doing that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go vibe first. So we picked a palette. And based on the palette, we're making some art, just kind of generally drawing whatever we feel drawing based on the color. And after drawing the image, we're ideating on the mechanic based on the vibe. So we're in the middle of just kind of drawing this bike helmet wearing old elf men holding a lantern in this mystical library slash book thing going right now. And I think we have landed on some ideas regarding lighting the way in order to walk in this fading magical library so far. Let's see what Steam says. Steam Coco says, we were doing turn-based combat state machine of fun and then flailing about. Of course, that's what we do. If we're not flailing about, are we even developing? That's my take on that. But yeah, so we've been drawing here, just chilling. And also, I guess I should do it. I feel a little bit weird, but I just launched a 30-day Godot course for complete beginners. So it's like for people who don't have any coding knowledge, and I get them through making their first game in 30 days and teach coding while doing that, like some of the major coding concepts. And I have credibility to do that just because I worked in the industry and then I studied for a long time. So that's what I've launched. So if you have anyone or is interested in taking a peek at that, link is available. Steam says, need to peace though. See ya. All right, bye. Thanks for the raid. See you around. I should probably follow you for future raid. All right. Steam says, the conversation on heading out was reheating pizza methods. No. Gotta reheat the pizza. Do it. All right, so we got some cute stuff going on. I don't know if there's if there's an enemy or if the environment is the enemy. Like, is it fun just revealing and exploring? I guess that's the question. If that's the main mechanic. The main mechanic is just walking around and jumping around. And then seeing things around. There has to be something more, no? I'm thinking here. Or is it too early to think about mechanics already? I do like the little puppy thing. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be some sort of Metroidvania in that you're collecting helmet, you're collecting lantern, and you're collecting little cloudy creature. And then eventually all these things will come together. I guess I want to, though, introduce the main theme of this platformer, though, within first 5-6 minutes. It's not just walking around. You need certain mechanic. Would it be crazy if you can like throw the lantern? Like you attach it to the rope and then you throw it? Like if there's like a platform that's far away, you gotta throw it to see it. And once you see it, what do? You just walk. So only thing is like, oh, there's some jump quests. Only caveat is that you can't see it, so you have to figure out where it is. That just sounds frustrating. Devi says it should boomerang. I think boomerang is a good idea. I just trying to like I'm trying to think like in the first moment I wanted to feel like, oh, I get it. And then it's like, oh man, this is kind of hard. And then you're like, I see, this is the game. This is a little hard. But I don't want it to be like just repeatedly annoying just for annoying sake. That needs to be like some sort of mechanical thing, a gamification of using the lantern, I think, is the main thing. I guess I could see like if you land a lantern on something and things move. Baka says lantern light could be a magical filter, revealing things hidden to normal light. You know what? I like that. So to begin, we do expose the fact that lantern can show things that are not seen, meaning we can go completely blank, ledge, and you pick up the lantern and you walk away. Suddenly, the ledge that the lantern was on is gone, or like you reveal new path with the lantern. So this shows the fact that you can see things additional with the lantern. That's it. Like you have a regular, it's not that everything is blacked out. It's just that certain areas, lantern reveals more things. But thing is, there's the idea of like learning to throw the lantern that unlocks some of the more different secret areas that you didn't see before. That's the whole Metrovania puzzle part, right? You started from here, you did something, and you moved on, and you keep moving on, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, can I go back and do that somewhere else? And will that be different? Like, I think that's a good one. I like that. And then the whole like you can see things differently. So, but like here's the thing though, when you're holding a lantern, the light is always on. So if you go, even if you don't see anything, as soon as you walk up to it, you see things. So there's no like discovery of like, I did this. I made a choice to reveal something here. Right? Like, I want the player to be like, I wonder if there's something here. And then they have to shine it. Meaning, in almost some ways, lighting an area, like a key interest area, should be a discovery, a decision. Baka says, easy reference like in The Hobbit where lunar light reveals elven hidden door. Yeah. Ooh, maybe it is a lunar lantern or something. Something along the line. I like that. I like that. But I can think about that mechanic later. I'm just trying to imagine that if that is fun, the whole aspect of like, and how that would be indicated. So we're walking around, jumping around. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, I have a lantern. And it says, do this to turn on the lantern. What if the lantern fades? Like, I mean, that makes sense, right? Like a battery. So, like, if you're standing on a platform and then lantern turns off, then you're done, right? Because you drop through. And then, wait, is that Outer Wilds expansion? Remember Outer Wilds expansion? They have like a lantern as a main mechanic. I forgot what the gameplay was. I mean, I finished it, but I forgot how it worked. Let me look for what Outer Wild lantern mechanic looked like. Devi says might be in my internet, but I think it might be lagging. Oh, whoops. Might be. Does seem like it says it's okay. I'm not getting any warning. Bitrate is 5,884. At least on Twitch, it should be okay. YouTube is always having a problem. I can't help with the YouTube situation. Would lantern fading feel annoying? Or would that add to the suspense? I mean, this is giving also Luigi's mention, right? There could be certain like ghost and booze